Can you give an example? For example, when you look at a company like Airbnb and the service they provide, um, how would it be offered in a decentralized, let's say, blockchain type of approach?
So, first, you would need to have a payment system. That's one of the things Airbnb does. So, how do you get value between the actors? Second, you need an identity system. So, how do you identify the actors? And then third, you need some sort of oversight and reputation system. So, the point there is that each of those could form into a free market. And instead of having a monopolistic provider that does all of that in the stack, you would then have markets form where multiple providers who are regional with various reputations would basically provide that. And actually, they would open up to a lot of small businesses. So regional hotels, for example, they might actually get involved in the business of audit and oversight and assist in the operation of these things to build that trust. But so cryptocurrency can do the identity side very well. You can store identities with DIDs or other things on chain. The payment system can also be accommodated. You can have stablecoin or CBDC or something like that to facilitate those transactions, and you are removing a huge amount of issues. It also can act as the smart contract side for an escrow. So you can put stuff there. You can have an insurance market there. And it's not like saying you don't have third parties, but what happens is you, the consumer, and you, the provider, are inviting those third parties into the transaction to de-risk the transaction or to augment the transaction to be more valuable for everybody. With the existing systems, they're monopolies. They basically say we own the whole network effect and all the user base. So whatever the terms of service happen to be, whether they're convenient to you or not, you must accept them if you want access to that entire market. Great
Hmm.
example would be Uber, where every year it becomes less and less profitable for an Uber driver, but they can't say no because they lose access to that entire customer base. In normal world, when you have competition and proper service providers, if Amazon, for example, with web services becomes problematic, you move to Rackspace or to Azure, or, to some other hosting infrastructure because they offer you a better deal. Or maybe you self-host and go to Dell and buy some hardware or something like that. You can't do that with Uber. It's all or nothing. Take our entire stack or not, and you can't break parts of the stack off and decentralize those parts of the stack and let a free market form. And this is a dangerous thing in society because not only is that happening, but then also you have collusion where these small group of monopolistic actors are getting together and they're preventing people from competing with them under various labels. Like Parler is a great example of that, where they say, oh, say, if you don't like Twitter, compete with Twitter. Oh, okay. So they created a competing platform. And then Google and Apple and Amazon got together and universally deplatformed this competitor. So now it's no longer the case that you can even compete. There's only one way of doing things, and that's it. And they'll just cow themselves in whatever EULA to justify that monopolistic action. We saw that in the 19th century. It was called Standard Oil, and it did not work out so well. We saw that in the 1990s. It was called Microsoft as they went and dominated and destroyed competition and hurt the entire tech industry. And you saw the death of Netscape and other such things. It was just bad for the web then, and this type of behavior is bad for all of us now.